can see here quite a few enemy reserves in the woods near the Dunker Church. You've got Early, it looks like. Floyd, the Stonewall Brigade. Yeah, I mean, I do think that that there's definitely room for improving the polish and other things like that. Oh, something just happened. I guess the hype train ended. Well, didn't even realize there was a hype train, but thank you, folks. All right, so Pleasanton's moving forward. Definitely could be some visual polish. Again, the game is not out for another 2.5 weeks, and when it does come out, it'll still be early access. All right, so Pleasanton sending me notes. There's a whole bunch of dispatches that I'm receiving. Seymour's whipped. General, the enemy has whipped us properly, and I am running low on men. My ability to hold is slim, and I need more troops. Truman Seymour. Sorry I'm ignoring your dispatches, men. I just want you to continue attacking. You gotta whip them, boys. Keep on pushing. Keep on, keep on, keep on pushing. Driving the rebels into the river. I can't sing. All right. When is the rest of Porter's Corps going to be available? Right now, it's still just Sykes' division. I need those 10,000 men. Give them to me. All right, so I've moved my artillery reserve here across the river. They're attacking against unfavorable odds here. Hey, how about you don't just sit here and probably eat artillery fire? Why don't you work into the rear of the enemy literally just to your front? You too, boys. Don't make me do all the work. Get up here, boys. Aggressive. Charge. Forwards. The Suspenser 01, thanks for the follow. Stink EE, thank you for the follow. Come on, 1st Division. Push forward. Aggressive now. Aggressive. Tick Joe Tots, thank you for the follow. This brigade is eating canister fire at close range. Not good. All right, so you can see the couriers going here. I do like that. I think the important thing also to remember that I'm really excited about is the tactical battles are sort of the payoff, but I think the real heart of this game is the campaign, which still admittedly has a bit of work to do, but I think that's really where this game has the potential to be something special. Because even if it's not the best tactical battle system ever made for a Civil War game, combine it with, you know, a special campaign that then lets you fight tactical battles, it could be in a league of its own. And so I'm trying to be a little bit more hands-on with some of these units, pushing some of our troops forward here. These enemy troops have 3 brigades firing into them on 2 flanks. The campaign is basically, I'm not sure how familiar you are with something like AJOD, but think AJOD or maybe like Total War in the sense that you command the entire country's economy and recruitment efforts and whatnot. You don't really micromanage the economy. It's largely just sort of, it occurs as the economy would occur. It's almost a little bit Victoria-esque. But the economy sort of runs itself, and based on what's going on, I think it's going to be much more relevant for the Confederates. Like if you're blockaded, it can cause prices to go up, different goods produced as you lose different places, or if the enemy raids certain industries, it can influence the economy and pricing. If the economy is doing poorly, that influences national morale. As you take casualties, like, so for example, if a brigade is from a certain state and you take a bunch of casualties in that brigade, that affects the morale of that state. Your overall national morale is influenced by the sort of average of all of the state's morale put together. And so, you know, your goal at the end of the day is to crush the enemy morale. And so as you fight the war, there's this large sort of economic effort. You've got to issue bonds, raise funds, all these other sorts of things that you have to do in order to to support a war effort. And then the tactical battles are just when two armies that you've put together, when two armies sort of collide with each other, then you have the tactical battles. Tortuga, I will, but the campaign is still in pretty rough shape. It's still very much in early access. So, I was chatting with the developer, and he even said right now the AI for the campaign is not very competitive for a player. The tactical battles are more advanced. So, I will, but I think the AI is, and there's other updates that need to be made to the campaign to really flesh it out. Again, this is all pre-release, so take that for what it is. Kids these days. Thanks for the follow. Love the name. Charcoal Cheetah, just want to give a shout out to your Destroyer class and Rule the Waves 2 Succession series. Heck yeah. Okay. So, the enemy does look like they've got some troops in behind me. Hooker's troops are routed. He has 5,000 troops left. Are these just division commanders? There's no troops? 3rd Brigade? You are the 3rd Brigade in the hearts of your general. Come on, man. Get moving. This is a clusterfuck. Well, that feels right. Troops are everywhere. No one is doing anything. 1st Brigade, you got 2,000 men. Move to your front. You've got 700 men. Come on, go take these guys out. Mansfield, how's your corps doing? You've lost 800 men. You still got 6,000 men in position. Keep pressing forward. Pleasanton, get your boys moving as well. You guys suck. My secondary commanders are terrible. Burnside, you sure are taking your time getting over that river. Oh, wait. That seems right. All right. So let's... I wish I could, like, set a double line formation or something instead of spreading these guys out all that way. I don't want to do that. Let's... Can you guys just go over here? Get into the rear of whatever this objective is down here. Take that road. Swing in behind the Confederates and cut their rear. Dana and Gorman look like they've set a skirmish line. I love these little, like, you can see this is a skirmish line right here out front. And then you've got the main line in behind. That's all done by the AI. Love that. We've got our artillery reserve in position across the river now, adding to the assault here in the center. It is now almost 8:20. Just gotta wait for the pontoon bridge. Sack Burnside is a great cheat code. Yeah, that would... Keep advancing, man. I shouldn't have to tell you to do it. General Grant would have an absolute... he'd be apoplectic right now. Oh, you guys, you're just chilling back here. Don't mind us. Get the goddamn cavalry division on the move. Where's Sheridan? I'm not even a big Sheridan fan, but at least he's fucking aggressive. Sorry, Meade, you've lost over 50% of your troops, but at least you fought. I need this man. He fights. Bring some artillery forward. So I got a lot of commanders. I don't have a lot of infantry units left. A lot of broken troops. I don't know if they like route off the field or where they're all at. Hey, look, we've got more troops back here. Did these guys just arrive? Slocum? 1st Division? What corps is this in? Hancock's brigades over here? Franklin? Couch? 1st Division, 4th Corps. Franklin's Corps. Yes, 18,000 men, boys. Get to the front. You know, I'm just going to issue orders to you, Franklin, to get into frickin' Sharpsburg. Just go that way. Pointing my sword in the direction of the enemy. Get your men in. Franklin's Corps was the one that I think was held back. 18,000 men that were never engaged. So hopefully he'll move forward. Franklin's not a very aggressive commander. As we swing around. All right, so we'll move him forward. What are we at right now, by the way? 9 o'clock. What's the situation? Not that. Not that. I click all the wrong buttons. Okay, it is 9 a.m. in the morning. We have 1,800 Union killed versus 1,000 Confederates, 5,100 Union wounded versus 3,800 Confederates, 7,200 missing versus 950 Confederates. Total casualties so far, 7,655 Union. This is going to be a lot bloodier than the historical battle. 6,000 Confederate losses. You know, we're keeping things relatively close. 9% casualty rate for the Union. The Confederates are already at 15% of their entire force as casualties, because remember, they have a much smaller force. They're up to 30 guns lost of a total of 200, while the Allies only have, or the Union only has 5 guns lost. So I think if we just keep grinding away at the enemy, this could be a victory for us, depending on what the impact of losses are on victory points. If we don't run out of momentum. Firestorm, thank you very much for the bits. Appreciate it, dude. All right, so we'll close that. What do you mean, charcoal? Wasn't family friendly? I know I need to take the objectives, but if I destroy the enemy army, then we can just mop up the objectives, right? Why is Pleasanton not moving the cavalry forward more aggressively? Get your men in there. Now. Fight dismounted if you have to. Come on, boys. Move the horse forward. We'll do a grand cavalry charge. 3,000 horsemen riding through the Confederate lines. They don't know how to form a square. Listen, if I destroy the Confederate army and I don't take a magical hill, I think I'm okay. I'll still count that as a W. Charge, my lads! We've got the division commander's got to send a horseman all the way up to this regiment, all the way here in the front, to tell them to charge. Just fix your damn bayonets and move forward. Give me some Joshua Chamberlain. Let's go. Exactly, Firestorm. All right. So, I mean, I could probably move things a little bit more quickly. I think the coup de grace will be when Franklin's Corps comes up. You can see they've got another line back here near the Dunker Church. They've got quite a few. It's almost they've got like 3 lines of defenses here. So their situation in the north is strong for the Confederates. I don't know where Richardson's unit went. I guess he's routed. He lost about half his strength. So that whole force that crossed at the Sunken Road, at least one of those divisions is gone. 3rd Division, French's division, is in good shape. It's firing and engaging the enemy to its front. Pleasanton's cavalry are moving forward here to the front. Morrill's division is 6,000 men. They've only lost 90-some-odd men. What are you doing? Where are your... How about you advance? Sumner's corps has lost about 3,600 men, but they still have 12,000 men left. You know what, Sykes? Move your regulars forward. So there's almost like a separate battle going up on in the north while the Confederates still have a large number of troops here in the south. Burnside's is just useless. How about you assault? That's my orders to you. He's got other brigades still coming up too. Meanwhile, is Franklin coming forward here? Slowly but surely, those 18,000 men are coming forward. Hooker's just like hanging out here by himself. Hey guys, don't mind me. Hill arrives. A.P. Hill's light division troops have been spotted joining the battle. That's great. Well, the good news is that should be their last reinforcement. It's only 9:30 in the morning, really? It's also kind of hard with all the officers to tell where the actual troops are in that scenario. So the cavalry, I want you to assault. Maybe that's why Pleasanton was doing Jack Diddley, is because his orders were not to assault, they were to screen. So hopefully with the assault command, these troops will move forward a little bit more aggressively. Meanwhile, we've got a nice battery of artillery firing into the flank of this Confederate here, Ripley's brigade. First Division artillery should be just hitting these guys square in the flank from that position. I would suggest solid shot, but that's just me. So the cavalry has been given the order to assault the enemy position. Their cohesion is failing. They're engaged. They're eager. They have the orders to assault the enemy. It's just a mess. The army's melting. Pleasanton, you still have 6,000 men. Where are they all? This brigade hasn't even lost a man. Move down here to engage the Stonewall Brigade. All right, so we routed Ripley here. He's driven back. Howard's troops have seen A.P. Hill up here. Meanwhile, it looks like Franklin or something like that is coming over the river, maybe? Burnside, do something. You're so slow. You know what? Let's just give direct orders to Rodman's division. Here, you do this. You go down here and you take this objective. Rodman, you're ordered to take that damn objective. Sturges, you drive these enemy off this ridge. And the Kiwana division, you support them on that flank. Wilcox, you also bring your division up this way. So we're going to approach Sharpsburg there. Newport Daddy, thank you very much for the follow. All right, so get your men in action, Burnside. I'm ordering your division commanders directly if you won't move. Yeah, he hasn't lost a man yet. What a jerk. French is coming up. Porter's Corps, or what of it is here. Moving up, the 5th Corps. He has 100 guns in his corps. He must have the artillery reserve assigned to him. Meanwhile, it looks like a lot of these guys up here are actually just commanders. There's only a handful of enemy brigades. There's a whole bunch of our own brigades sort of crammed in here. Move Green's division forward. Pleasanton's troops are fighting here. I think we're overwhelming them in the north. It's very convoluted and cramped, but I do think we are overwhelming them in the north. This brigade is 2,000 men. They've lost 3 men. Clearly, my AI commanders are not aggressive enough. It's 10 a.m. Another hour has gone by. Let's take a look at the status of the army. We've taken another 2,000 casualties, up to 9,600. The Confederates are closing the gap. They were about 1,600 in favor compared to us. Now they're just 1,100 in favor, so we're closing the gap a little bit. Confederate Army has lost 21% of its force to casualties versus 12% for the Union. We have now lost 23 guns, though, so they must have done something because we went from 5 to 23. Their gun losses have doubled, however. They've lost almost a third of their total artillery pieces so far. Hey, Pixel. Doing well. How are you? The casualties so far are pretty historical. I think we're pressing it much more heavily than the Union did. I feel weird saying that about Antietam. We're pressing more aggressively than the Union did at Antietam. Perhaps just more, we're pressing the attack home a little bit more. We're allowing corps to actually get shattered, and we're going to be committing a lot more of our troops. But yeah, it's 10 a.m. and our casualties are rapidly increasing. I'm going to step away for just a second to use the restroom, and then we will come back. No South American troops? What does that mean, Rainer? I'm a butcher of American troops. Am I a Sid Meier's Civil War game, battle dreams and modern game being fulfilled? I personally feel like Ultimate General or Scourge of War are a little bit more Sid Meier's-esque, but this is, I think the grand, again, I've said it before, I think the grand campaign is what's special here. So the battles are cool and they're nice to have, but the grand campaign is what's going to set this thing apart or not. I do also like the art style. There's just something about the aesthetic of this that I like. Yeah, the other game of his is 7 Years' War. I think it might be based on a similar game engine because there's a lot of similarities between the two, I think. But this is obviously a more advanced grand strategy element to the game and whatnot. Pixel, I would say the AI commands are between Ultimate General and Scourge of War in the sense that the AI seems reasonably good about commanding their own troops and issuing orders and things like that, almost like Scourge of War. But I think the scale of the battles is a little bit less than Ultimate General. Look at all those poor Zuas. All those dead bodies there on the ground. All right, let's get going. All right, so our cavalry is our horse artillery up there at the front, leading the way, boys. Bring those guns forward. I wonder if you can put units in buildings. The left wing. Does that mean that's Longstreet? That's probably Longstreet, or no, is Jackson is the left wing? Well, we've broken what looks like most of those troops there. Move forward, you 1,600 men. 2,000 men here. Why are you not taking any casualties? Shouldn't you be fighting? Where's Barnes going? Where are you going, buddy? All right, meanwhile, it looks like our reserves are starting to come over the bridge here. Our other troops down here by Burnside are getting across the river, finally. Rodman is moving his troops up to this objective. What is that objective anyway? The Harper's Ferry Road. That's one of our objectives over here. Wilcox is moving his division forward here to assault Sharpsburg proper. The interesting thing is, despite all this attacking north of town, there's no objectives really up there for us to take. There's no, like, take this objective. Okay, these guys are attacking the Stonewall Brigade. Bring this artillery forward here. Into that wood line and fire into the enemy rear. I wish this mid-level zoom, your units were a little bit more clear to you. Okay. Cavalry continue to push forward here. Keep on pushing, lads. Keep up the pressure. Confederate artillery here. Our own artillery. Massing around here. There's no enemy infantry at this moment to challenge our artillery over this way. So our artillery is kind of forming up in this open space up here. All right, moving to the rear of these guys. Will this become my go-to American Civil War recommendation? Does it give you objectives as you gain objectives? I don't know if it gives you objectives as you gain objectives yet. I think for the historical battles, they're kind of just set to whatever they were or what they would have been. All right. So Rodman's going to try and take that Harper's Ferry Road. I don't see any Confederates between us and them, so Rodman has a pretty small division here, only about 2,000 men, but he's going to go try and take that road, which is kind of the Confederates' southern escape route. Trying to keep track of who all these guys are. 2nd Division, Sedgwick. He's routed. Where are these troops coming up from? 3rd Brigade. I mean, this has to be French's troops. Hancock's coming up here as well. Morell's sharpshooter. Or no, that's the 1st Division here. Still has 5,000 men in good order. Let's get them forward here then, toward the sunken road. Why are you marching away? Okay. Push your division south. It looks like it's just Jackson, the commander there, is in the way. 2nd Division also is apparently in good shape. They're pinning down 2 brigades of Confederate cavalry up there in the north. Bring some artillery down here to support. Look at all those guns and men forming up in this open plain, if you will. Square is a formation? Really? Charge, my lads! Drive those enemy guns back. Well rested. Your cohesion's disrupted, but it doesn't need to be too firm to charge enemy artillery, I don't think. Eating a lot of artillery fire here, though. Come on, my lads. You're retreating? Really? Alright. So there's still several enemy brigades formed back here by the Dunker Church that look like they're in pretty good shape. 2 brigades over here looks like they... Oh, they shattered the Stonewall Brigade. It's routing. It's running back here. A couple enemy batteries here. Doubleday, it says you're routed, but some of these troops are in your division and they're doing okay. All right. Drambrosi, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. McClellan. Whoa! You've taken 11,000 casualties. All right, that enemy brigade here is definitely shattered. They're caught between 2 brigades of ours. Meanwhile, we've taken the Harper's Ferry Road down here in the south with Rodman's division. So we've taken that objective. What does that put us at objective-wise? Is that the first objective we've taken? Not what I was looking for. Not what I was looking for. So we've taken by Burnside, the lower bridge. Oh, so the objective points are... We started with 10 objective points. So we've taken the lower bridge by Burnside. We've taken the Harper's Ferry Road by Burnside. Sharpsburg we need to touch. Shepherdstown Pike we need to take. Shepherdstown Pike is pretty much further in the rear. Sharpsburg we're pretty close to, but there's a strong enemy formation in our front. Bachelor's Fort is way down there. That would basically be a total rout of the enemy, and as well as the Antietam down here in the south. Doesn't look like anybody has the Antietam, though. That would be a cavalry objective if I had some down here. I don't think I feel comfortable sending Rodman all the way down there. I'm not sure it matters either, given the fact that it's not taken by anyone at the moment. Unless there's like reserves coming up from the Antietam Ironworks down there, I'm not sure. Although I think Hill's the last enemy troops that will arrive, and they're... You can see a bunch of broken Confederate units back here south, routing to the rear. I don't know if they can rally or not. First Division, I want you to assault this position. So what happens? What is this? Charge or advance? Advance. Those are your orders. Meanwhile, a lot of artillery up here in the north. The enemy, I think, is starting to collapse north of Antietam. They're pretty much melting away. They do have some troops here in this wood line. That might be tricky to deal with. We also have some pretty shot-up brigades that are kind of in their rear now. Why is Jackson still hanging out there? Like, what are you doing, dude? How's Pleasanton's division? How's the cavalry division doing? Still eager and intact. Well, move down there then. Support the advance. That brigade just got shattered by, I'm assuming, artillery on their flank. Where is French? So I've got Porter's men. 3,000 of them or so. They're engaged down here. Or Franklin, that's what I was looking for. All right, Franklin, your troops are coming up. Get them into the fight. And charge, I guess. I'll give them the order to charge. I just want them to overrun the enemy. Just crush them. Bunch of enemy brigades back here to the rear of Sharpsburg. Get your 18,000 men up. You're ordered to charge. Sturgis, you get your division up here. We're going to try and crush the enemy in a bit of a salient in and around Sharpsburg. First Division, 4th Corps. Why are you not forward? Couch, get your men forward. Assault the enemy. Those are your orders. Oh, there is an option to choose double line. I was complaining about that earlier. Okay. So Jackson, I feel like, should be surrendered by now. Jackson appears to just be hanging out amongst our lines. He's just like, hey, guys, don't mind me. I'm just hanging out here at this church. It's on fire. I'm in the rear of the Union. I'll shake my fist at them because I'm Jackson. That's what I do. Seems to be about the moral of the story. I think I'm giving some convoluted orders that I'm not maybe micromanaging a little bit too much. So maybe we'll speed this up a little bit. It's about 11:30. Much of my left, or I guess the right flank that attacked at Nicodemus Heights and the Dunker Church is shattered. But we've got 18,000 reserves coming online here. We're pressing toward Sharpsburg itself. We've taken the Harper's Ferry Road to the south. Bottling the Rebs up. Let's accelerate this a bit. Let's also give the entire Union Army under McClellan. Can I click on McClellan? He's in here somewhere, right? All right, McClellan, I am giving the entire army the order to assault. All-out attack on the enemy positions here. We're up to 12,000 casualties, which is the historical number. But I'm issuing orders for all troops to launch an assault. Let's accelerate this and see what happens. Let's see how the AI can handle it. I can't tell if those enemy troops are trying to overrun us or if they're trying to run away. These are all routed troops. Why are you letting them run away? Force them to surrender. Apparently routed troops just flee through your formations, which is not that unlike Scourge of War or other games like that, where they rout from the field. I just hope they can't rally somewhere. Can we just assume they're all surrendered then? Can we just claim that they're all surrendered, all those regiments that just ran away? No, dog, we out. Yeah, right. All right, Wilcox, why are you not assaulting the enemy? Wilcox, advance your damn division. You've got 2,000 men. You're ordered forward. Franklin's corps is half the size of the entire Confederate army to start. 18,000 men. One Union corps is half the size of the entire Confederate army to start the battle. That's crazy. Anyone caught was too weak? Yeah, maybe. Have we touched Sharpsburg yet, by the way? So Antietam is not ours yet. The other objective across the river is not ours yet either. Interesting. This brigade down here is... They kind of pinballed against him. Apparently the 2nd Brigade is going for the objective. Down here, all by itself. So we've kind of switched over to just accelerating to see what happens. It's now almost 1 o'clock. Jackson's just riding through the rear of the Union Army, just like, don't mind me, I'm just riding around here. All right, I'm going to move Slocum's division into Sharpsburg here. See if we can't take that objective. Seems like the entire Confederate army is routed. Like, it doesn't... Granted, I'm moving at times 10 speed, but it does not seem like there's really much left. So we'll move him forward as well to see if we can't take that Shepherdstown Pike Road. I mean, there's a few Confederate units. Maybe it's just because I'm moving at times 10 speed, but there's still some shooting going on. So what is this? So it looks like the Confederates are actually retreating. So some of these enemy brigades are withdrawing from the field. So maybe I didn't do a good job of blocking them off. It's possible that you were right. My blocking force may have been too weak. So we just let them all march away. But we are holding this southern objective now. Or at least we took it temporarily. The enemy does look like it's forming up a division over here on the flank of Rodman's division. Brockenborough, or however. So let's slow things up a bit. Whoa, look at all those dispatches. All right, so we've taken Sharpsburg. We've taken several key objectives. We've definitely done better than historical. Couch, I want you to press forward here vigorously. No, actually, I don't want that. I just want you to double time it over this way. Is there a way to... You've got 6,000 men. Not sure. Meanwhile, how are these guys doing on this road? I mean, there's enemy artillery over here. Some enemy troops are engaged. What's the casualty ratio? We're up to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So we've taken the Antietam. Hooker's taken Antietam. The Antietam, I guess. He just sent some troops down there by himself. Lower Bridge is ours. Sharpsburg and Harper's Ferry are ours. Bottler Ford and Shepherdstown Pike are not ours. I am sending some troops over here to try and get the Shepherdstown Pike. The Bottler Ford feels like a bigger ask. It's on the other side of the Potomac River. In terms of the casualties so far, we're up to 14,000 Union, 12,000 Confederates, so that's 2,000 more Confederates than historically were lost. 31% of the Confederate force is lost. 200 Confederate artillery pieces are lost. They've lost over 3/4, trying to do math here, of their artillery. The Union hasn't lost anything like that number. In real life, Coffee, I don't know what time he got over. Afternoon, I think. 1 o'clock. I kind of just, when does the battle end anyway? It still says indecisive. How's this battle still? Or maybe that's the total number. I don't even know. How is that possible? Pleasanton's troops are still engaged. Nomad, I am taking the important positions. That's what matters, right? The terrain. I've lost all semblance of combat control. Let's just fast forward and hope for the best. Let's see here. Can our troops get into the rear and take that other objective? I've issued order for a division to move that way. The fighting's intensity is definitely ebbing. We are moving some additional troops forward here. These troops look like they might be moving south. All right, so we're going to move Gordon's brigade south. Gordon is wounded in action, but we're going to move him. Oh, someone else already got here. A minor Union victory. How is this a minor Union victory? Give me a break. We've taken everything except the other side of the frickin' river. The Confederates are toasted. This is no minor victory. Actually, I have quite a few troops over here blocking the way, though. Let's hit play. It's a little bit laggy here. All right, so 2nd Division here, you're in good shape. I want you to engage. Let's see if we can get across to the Bottler Ford. You got to go through some enemy troops to get there. Meade's division is routed. Why are all the routed division commanders down here? Where's the... Sedgwick, you're panicked. You still got 4,000 troops left. Maybe the rest of them withdrew from the battlefield? Maybe, Jatsy. Maybe. You may have a point. I'm surprised these Confederate troops don't just, like, retake this objective. I don't know if they're... Oh, they did, just as I said that. So that switches it back to indecisive, which, again, I don't really agree with considering how much more... Like, the Confederates have lost more troops. They've been driven from the field way more than they were historically. This does not feel indecisive at all. This is a rout. We literally swept them from the field. Go there. Issue the damn orders, Couch. Get your men over there. Franklin sucks. That I know. That much is clear. Franklin absolutely sucks. He lost 500 men. Tried to get him engaged, and he's just like, nope, I'm going to take my sweet time. Oh, we're back to a minor victory. We took the Shepherdstown Pike back from the enemy. Their morale must be such, like, just absolutely in the gutters. Lincoln's probably upset you didn't destroy the whole army. You know? Yeah, he was pretty unreasonable after Gettysburg, that's for sure. Antietam, I don't know. I mean, I guess. It's so hard to know, right? Like with Fog of War, what do you really know? What do you think you know? I have less sympathy for McClellan after Antietam because his intelligence was so ungodly bad. Oh, they've got 200,000 men. I'm heavily outnumbered. Use your damn mind. Use common sense, sir. That's just not even possible. All right, so we've got one brigade going over here. Pharaoh's brigade took that last objective, so it swings us a little bit closer toward a victory. Oh, but they retook the Shepherdstown Pike Road. Damn you. Oh, but we retook it. It's back and forth. It's 6 p.m., by the way. No, they retook it. No, we retook it. Oh, but then they took the Bottler Ford down here. We had a lone brigade out that way. Unlikely we would have had much hope. How's Franklin doing here? Oh, you took 300 more casualties. Good for you, Franklin. Push the enemy back. Keep driving them. You, sir, are the instrument of victory. We will either win or be destroyed by Franklin's own aggression or lack thereof. So God help us as we're speeding through the conclusion of the battle. Will the battle go overnight? Good question. I don't know. There are multi-day battles in the game. I know that. I don't know how the game decides if the battle continues the next day or not. It's now a major victory, folks. It's now a major victory up there on the top. Every time you connect to my stream, I'm playing something new, Ramgar. Well, I play a lot of War in the Pacific. That's not typically new. End of the day. Darkness has fallen and fighting ceases for today. Prepare for the next day's fighting or attempt retreating using the cover of darkness. Troops resupplied. During the night, your army was resupplied. Inspect the situation of your troops. Click continue to start redeployment. Really? We didn't just win? Wait, the battle's going to actually continue? The enemy didn't just retreat? Shouldn't the enemy retreat? Wouldn't Lee be like, I'm out? How is that not the Confederates just saying, yeah, we got to run away now? Let's take a look at the final tally here. So the Confederate Army lost 50% of the Army of Northern Virginia. They lost 21,000 men. The Union did lose 30,000, but that's only 37% of the Army. So we lost more than double of history. The Confederates also lost more than double of history. The Confederates suffered 6,500 men missing versus 6,700 Union men missing. 18,000 Federals were wounded versus 11,000 Confederates. 3,400 Confederates are killed. 4,900 Union are killed. I'm going to assume, because of the nature of this battle, not only did we kill 3,400 Confederates, but I will also assume that we captured captured the majority. Let's say we captured like 8,000 of the Confederate wounded, because again, the enemy army was completely routed from the field, and probably a large amount of those missings were also captured. So the enemy probably lost upwards of 15,000 men permanently from their services that would have been rendered either killed, wounded beyond the ability to return to service, or captured by Federal troops. Meanwhile, the Federal casualties of the 6,700 missing, many of those were probably routed from the field but would return to their formations later. The Confederates were in no shape to carry surrendered troops home with them after that battle. Also, likewise, of the 18,000 wounded, I would imagine a large number of those will return to service. Most of those are probably not permanently lost in terms of like lost limbs or things like that. Obviously, the 5,000 or so killed were permanently lost. So if we assume that 5,000 of the missing returned to service and we assume that 5,000 of the wounded returned to service, probably safe numbers, we actually would have the Confederates likely losing more men permanently than the Federals, or right around the same. The Confederates lost every single artillery piece in their army, all 250 artillery pieces. There's no coming back from that, Mr. Lee. The Federals did lose 206, but I imagine of the 250 that the Confederates lost, a fair number of those would have been captured by the Federals. So at the end of the day, victory. That's what we're going to say. major victory for the federal troops. Yeah, total victories. So I'm guessing this is... What is this? Total victories? Guns captured? Apparently we only captured 4, but they lost 250, so the field must be littered with uncaptured guns. Also 0 prisoners taken, so maybe that's just not programmed in. These numbers, I'm guessing, are like points. Casualties inflicted 25,000 versus 11,000. I don't understand what any of this means, because that doesn't match up with anything else that I was looking at. We won the battle. Confederate Army ceases to exist. And with that being said, that's going to conclude my first look at the tactical battles, the historical tactical battles in Grand Tactician, the Civil War. We'll obviously continue taking a look at this game as it comes closer to release. I definitely want to hear your thoughts, and if this is something you want to continue to see more of. But a victory at Antietam, a bloody one at that, but hey, who would have thunk if McClellan had only used Franklin's 18,000 reserve corps and elements of Porter's, who knows? Maybe the battle would have turned out differently. Actually, I think we all know it would have. In any event, that's going to do it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, as always, this is the Historical Gamer saying, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'm out.